To Yemen now, where there are reports of new US and UK airstrikes on Houthi targets. The attacks happen on the district of Beit al-Faqi in the Houthi-controlled district of Hodeidah. The UN Security Council has held a meeting to discuss the political process and the humanitarian crisis in Yemen. Hans Grundberg, the UN Special Envoy for Yemen, told Council members that while the spotlight is on the Red Sea, Yemen is not a footnote to a wider regional story.
Rising regional tensions linked to the war in Gaza, and in particular the military escalation in the Red Sea, are slowing down the pace of the peace efforts in Yemen. As much as I have tried to insulate the peace process from wider regional dynamics, the reality is that mediation efforts in Yemen cannot be neatly cordoned off. What happens regionally impacts Yemen, and what happens in Yemen can impact the region.
OK, let's get more on this. We can speak to Gabriel Elizondo, who is at UN headquarters in New York. So tell us a little more about what the Security Council is being told is the impact of the war on Gaza on Yemen's peace process.
Yeah, the Security Council held several meetings on Yemen last month, but they were behind closed doors. This is the first meeting in nearly 5 months that the Security Council has held that has been open, where we've got a chance to really glean what's going on, at least with the situation in terms of the UN officials that are in charge of this peace process there. And certainly last year, the internationally recognized government and the Houthis were inching closer to some peace agreement. But that, while not being completely derailed, according to the UN's special envoy for Yemen, is saying it's certainly much more complicated now. And he cited, of course, the tensions in the Red Sea with the Houthi attacks on the commercial shipping lines, and then also the US and UK strikes on Yemen, as well as he cited the US declaring the Houthis a terrorist organization. Add it all up, and that has made the peace process in Yemen become much more difficult. He's focusing right now on trying to keep the ceasefire in place, or keeping the parameters of that in place, if you will, and resuming the political process while de-escalating regional tensions as best as the UN can.
And Gabe, did we hear anything about the current humanitarian situation in Yemen? We know it's been dire, but presumably this latest crisis is not going to help things.
Yeah, a top UN humanitarian official did brief the Security Council and said that this year it is looking very grim for the people of Yemen. She cited 18 million people, or about half the Yemeni population, are in need of or will be in need of humanitarian assistance, and 17 million Yemenis are severely food insecure. Those are incredible numbers there. And not only that, but the UN is citing that the cost of getting aid into Yemen is going up because of the situation in the Red Sea. The World Food Program says container shipments into Yemen are increasing in price by over 100%. And other humanitarian organizations are saying their container shipments of aid getting into Yemen, the costs are going up by as much as 300%. So add it all up, and it is a very, very difficult situation.
Thank you for that. Gabriel Elizondo there in the UN for us.